Here's what's unfair about that. I got goosebumps for the wrong reason. Y'all see what time it is? You see what time it is. We made it. We're here. Money Game Part 3. I'm not gonna say another word. Let's just get into it. Let's just get in.
Tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old, he was walking.
When I'm confused, that's like the start of the tale of Ginny and Screech, right? That's interesting. Don't tell me there's gonna be a parallel to that. I'm probably jumping ahead. It's probably not. He probably just knows like people like me would react and be like, oh my God.
Tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old, he was walking. 3 years old, walking quickly. 4 years old, he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17.
Well, I'm sorry, did he solve the Rubik's Cube? Wait, did he solve that?
Code.
Okay, he did.
It detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17 and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18 and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns up profit stocks and and shares, invest in product. 20 double down deposits, 21 his income rockets, 22 he learns that truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then a lie will sell itself. 23 a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24 he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25 and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26 a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27 dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28 inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race, you're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31 a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32 moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33 filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34 turf war with nobody to stop it, blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket.
We're all in agreement that so far this one is very, very, very different compared to the first two, right? Like this is different in a lot of different ways, right? Okay, just making sure. Just want to confirm.
35, he gets the call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack. I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again.
There's some storytelling here, bro. He is telling a story. I knew it was going to be a transition when they zoomed in on his back. That's a shot.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 40, money wasn't walking. 42, not walking quickly. 43, never running round the pavements of his city. 44, inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Call the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution? Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive. We're parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface and consume till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. "45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game."
Here's what's unfair about that. I got goosebumps for the wrong reason. We got the goosebump test, but I think I got it for the wrong reason because I'm connecting things that aren't there again. Like I am connecting things that aren't there. The whole "it's a damn shame" and his father. I am not gonna let us bridge Money Game Part 3 with the tale of Jenny and Screech. That's not what's happening here, right? Okay, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page because that wouldn't be possible because Screech, who his name was James, right? Which the nickname could be Jimmy, but no, because James died. I'm blending two different things that don't matter. Tell me in the comments if I'm completely wrong or if I'm off base, but I don't think there's a parallel there, correct? Other than the reference, he made several references actually to the tales in this one, but no correlation in terms of story or timeline, right? They don't exist in the same universe, right? Let's just talk about what I thought of the song. I thought it was great, actually. Here's what's interesting, and I'm curious what y'all think. As much as I liked it, and I thought, again, it's my High Ren opinion all over again. It's what I thought of High Ren, whereas do I think High Ren is lyrically my favorite song that he's done? No. Do I think visually it's my favorite song that he's done? Yes. I kind of feel that way with Part 2 and Part 3 of Money Game, whereas I feel like Part 3 is this visual, poetic, storytelling savant of personifying all these different elements and things of how we as humans live our life. Part 2, I just liked it lyrically. I thought it was catchier. I thought it was better. I just overall, it was my cup of tea for a lot of the things that he even talked about in Part 2. Part 3, I'm curious. It's interesting, you know, like I really enjoyed it. I found it very creative. I liked the message, or at least what I perceived to be the message is that, again, we're still, you know, let me go back. One thing that I really like, and I've actually said this to my friends, is that a lot of the shit is made up that we do. When he went on that rant, so to speak, of like borders are made up, money's an invention, politics are a creation of our invention, or is an invention of our invention. I found that very fascinating because I said this in the Sick Boy video, that all this is made up. You have to pay to get better. Says who? We all just decided without even asking me. I was born into a planet where the rules were already predetermined for me, regardless of whether those rules do make sense for me, for my life, whether they relate to me. I think about that all the time when I think about the Constitution. You're talking about rules that haven't been ratified or adjusted in centuries. Those rules were put in place at a time when it made sense for those rules to be put in place. You're telling me that that is still the same doctrine that I have to respect hundreds of years later, when they didn't even have fucking refrigerators. They didn't even have television. They would have burned you at the stake for saying that one day you could talk, or we'd go to the fucking moon. So actually, I'm not backtracking what I said. I still like a lot of Part 2 better in terms of the cohesiveness, but I do like Part 3 in terms of its parts. If Part 2 was what I like because of the sum of its parts, Part 3 I prefer for the different parts. The different things he talks about as he's progressing down the song, I really related to and I really liked. There's a reason why I wasn't talking. I kind of was just absorbing it and picking up on it, but we're trying to, you know, Ren, everything's a mystery, but yeah, that was really good. What did y'all think? What were your thoughts on it? I know you all are fans. Let's just drop the subjective hat and put the objective hat on. What did you think about that? Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. What do you think? Which one was your favorite? What resonated with you with Part 3? I'm curious because I always like getting getting all of your perspectives. I like when I missed something and you all picked up on it, or I gave you something to think about that you didn't think of. You know, you all are really good at that. So let me know, what did you think? I enjoyed it. I think it was worth the wait. I think this guy is a storyteller. I think he is a really, really good musician. And it's awesome to hear that his album went #1. That is really cool. As a new fan, I'll just say and speak for a lot of people who haven't found him yet, much deserved. And you will get a lot more fans because of it. So I appreciate you all. I hope he likes these. I hope you all like these. I enjoy doing them. And I'll just see you in the next video. Peace.
Go speed racer, go speed danger, go speed racer, go speed racer, go